weekend storm threats. I'll pinpoint when we'll see the downpours and the hottest hours town by town.
And a missing family where the urgent search for two young children and their mother stands right now. Then new today, Chimney Rock reopened and a new nearly $600 million relief bill. How it'll be used to help communities devastated by Helene.
Well, we got thunderstorms popping up across the area again tonight, and we have another couple of hot days, a hot weekend ahead of us. Thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty. Meteorologist Mike Mays in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Mike, we're tracking storms, and it's going to be a hot weekend. Well, how hot will it get?
We're expecting mid-90s Saturday and Sunday. Those heat index values between 100 to 105. Now, tonight, it has been thunderstorms. Clinton is currently under a aerial flood advisory through 9:30 tonight. You can see much of the county of Sampson is in that flood advisory. Already 1 to 2 inches of rain has come down with an additional 1 to 2, especially over here near Spivey's Corner. This cell is moving toward the north and to the west, and you can see in the larger picture, the warning over southern Granville County has come to an end. Another flood advisory for parts of the Sandhills. That's until 8 o'clock, and into the weekend, we expect it to be hot again. Now, each afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, there's about a 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms. As we head into the evening, it's up to about a 40% chance both those days. Morning lows will be in the mid-70s. Afternoon highs will be in the mid-90s. By the time we get into next week, there could be a drawback in temperature. I'll highlight that with a 7-day forecast coming up in less than 15 minutes.
Grace Holland here in the WRAL Live Center. Fayetteville police are investigating a shooting that killed one person. This is what we know so far. This happened along Schaefer Place, and police do believe that the victim and the suspect knew each other. They have not released the victim's name at this point as they continue to investigate. And right here at the bottom of your screen, I want you to pay attention, get a good look at this phone number here. That is the number for Fayetteville, Cumberland County Crime Stoppers. Give them a call if you have any information about this.
Thank you, Grace. Tonight, police in Goldsboro need your help. They need help finding a missing mother and two of her children. This is 30-year-old Jasmine Wilson and one of her children, 4-month-old Zayden. Her daughter is also 2 years old. We don't have a picture of her, but we do know some other things. They were last seen on Tuesday, June 10th. It was at the Irish Inn on Sunburst Drive, and she was wearing a black and orange dress and tennis shoes at the time. WRL's Destiny Patterson has been looking into this for us. Destiny, certainly their loved ones are worried about them.
That's right, Dan. This is where Jasmine Wilson and her two young children were last seen. Police now say that they are urgently searching for them, and they classify them as endangered. Take a look at your screen. This is another look at Jasmine Wilson and her 4-month-old Zayden Sutton. Police say there's no photo available of her 2-year-old daughter, Jade Wilson. The three of them were last seen more than 2 weeks ago. Goldsboro police say they received a missing persons report about on June 23rd, and that's when they posted that missing endangered persons alert. Wilson was wearing a black and orange dress, black tennis shoes, and carrying a Five Below bag when she was last seen. Police tell me they couldn't tell me if they believed an outside person could be involved. I talked to the founder of an organization that advocates and helps search for missing people, and she says what police did say is what's most telling.
Investigators with police departments are not going to be forthcoming with information during an investigation. The fact they did list them endangered kind of speaks volumes.
I went inside to talk to the receptionist here to see if she had seen Wilson around the property, if any of the security cameras had picked up her walking around the property at all. She wouldn't answer any of my questions, so I left a card. I also scrolled through Jasmine Wilson's Facebook page. She had been posting almost every day, including the morning of her disappearance. And then the post just stopped. She hasn't posted since. If you know anything, you're asked to reach out to Goldsboro Police. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this and bring you any information that we learn. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, live in Goldsboro.
Thank you, Destiny. If you're just getting to the news tonight, let's get you caught up. Here are the 5 things you should know right now. Emergency responders are on the scene now of a deadly 2-vehicle crash in Fayetteville. This happened around 4:30 this afternoon on Cedar Creek Road near L.A. Durham Road. This is a live picture right now of that scene, which is, as you can tell, still very active. 2 people died at this scene. 2 others are in the hospital tonight with critical injuries. The names have not been released, but we are working to learn what led up to this crash. Raleigh police cited 2 men for a fight that sent 1 person to the hospital. This happened last night at the main bus depot on South Blunt Street. Security officer there detained a man with a knife. While officers were there, a man approached them and said he had been stabbed during a fight. Police say the victim is expected to recover. More than 20 people are without a place to stay, and we know a pet has died after this apartment fire in Mebane. It happened around 2 this morning at the Stonebrook Apartments off of South 5th Street. The fire, as you can see, was a big one. It was under control in about 40 minutes, but crews had to stay on site there for a while and monitor some hot spots. The Red Cross is involved. They're working to find some temporary places for the people who were living there to stay. We do know that the estimated loss could be more than $1 million. As you can tell, it could be a total loss. The cause is still under investigation. Some new rules protecting puppy mills. North Carolina lawmakers snuck them into a House bill that makes it easier to evict squatters. Yes, I know, 2 things that have nothing to do with each other. But this bill also bans cities and counties from doing anything to restrict pet stores. Activists have recently pushed for Raleigh and some other cities to ban stores associated with puppy mills. That bill is now on the governor's desk. We'll see what he does with it. A huge day on Wall Street. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ both hitting all-time record highs, with each gaining half a percentage point. The Dow also closed 432 points higher, a gain of 1%. This marks a stunning turnaround as the stock market has been flirting with a bear market territory in early April. Markets did cool slightly late in trading after President Trump announced the U.S. was ending trade talks with Canada and a new tariff would be imposed on the country in the coming days. So we saw a cascade of significant decisions by the U.S. Supreme Court today, and taken together, they reveal a lot about the character of this unusual court, you could say, and perhaps about the changing nature of both American politics and culture. We're going to talk about that in just a bit. But first, we should just recap exactly what happened today. The biggest story out of today is that the justices handed a major win to the Trump administration by allowing it to take steps to implement its proposal to end automatic birthright citizenship. It was a 6-3 vote. The court granted a request by the Trump administration to narrow the scope of nationwide injunctions imposed by judges. Those injunctions would now apply only to states, groups, and individuals that sued. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it means that the birthright citizenship proposal can likely move forward, at least in part, in the states that challenged it, as well as those that did not. President Trump was elated by the ruling at the news conference this morning.
We can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country.
It is important to point out that the ruling was just about judges' authority to impose a nationwide injunction and not about the constitutionality of birthright citizenship itself. But opponents of this decision do think it's going to cause some problems moving forward.
Today is a sad day for all of those who care about the U.S. Constitution and the constitutional rights of children born in the United States each and every day. It is a confusing moment for immigrant families as they see the news and are not necessarily sure what it means or how it could impact them.
It has long been widely accepted, including by legal scholars on the left and right, that the Constitution's 14th Amendment confers automatic citizenship to almost anyone born in the U.S. And it's important to note again that today's decision did not touch upon the legal merits of Trump's plan. And one group has already filed an amended lawsuit, and the ACLU filed a new class action lawsuit. So at some point, the court will have to address the constitutional issue directly. Moving on, the court also ruled in favor of parents who objected the LGBTQ-themed books that the Maryland County schools there had approved for use in the elementary school classrooms. It was a 6-3 vote on this one as well. The court backed the parents' claim that the local school board's decision not to allow an opt-out option for their children. The court decided that violated those folks' religious rights.
Children shouldn't be forced to have to confront this sort of information without their parents' consent. So we think this is a huge win for families, for children, and for parents.
The 3 liberal judges dissented on that ruling. The High Court rejected a challenge to the Affordable Care Act provision. The provision set up a panel to recommend preventative care services, which insurers have to provide to patients for free. The court split 6-3, ruled in favor of the Trump administration, which was defending that law. Interestingly, 3 conservative judges dissented in that ruling. The court also upheld a Texas law aimed at restricting young people's access to pornographic content online. The justices, in a 6-3 vote, rejected a challenge that said the measure violates free speech rights of adults who want to access that content. The 3 liberal judges dissented. The law requires users now of websites that host adult content to verify their age before they can access it. And this requires the operator to view a government-issued identification, such as a driver's license. 18 other states, including North Carolina, have similar laws already. Finally, a ruling that's not getting a lot of attention tonight, but it is still significant, especially for the folks in rural parts of North Carolina. The court rejected a challenge to an FCC program that subsidizes phone and internet services in underserved parts of the country. The court ruled that Congress did not exceed its authority when it set up this program in 1996. The program requires telecommunication companies to pay fees, which are usually then obviously passed on to customers. But these fees raise billions of dollars a year to provide phone and internet service for schools and libraries and hospitals. The justices were divided 6-3, with 3 conservative judges dissenting. DMV walk-in hours have expanded. It's the latest effort to cut down on long lines, especially in this dangerous heat. What you need to know before you get in line, that's still to come. And Chimney Rock reopens. What you need to know before returning there to an iconic destination that was closed for months after Hurricane Helene. The DMV announcing today that offices will serve walk-in customers all day, effective immediately. Now customers who don't have an appointment won't have to wait until noon to be seen. That change is significant considering the heat wave that's going through our area right now. People are still waiting for hours outside, though. We talked to some residents in Durham who are ready for a change.
Hot, I have breathing problems and all that too, and other health issues. It's just not favorable for us because we have no accommodations.
I tried looking to book some appointments, but they are booked up even 100 miles away from here for the next, I think, 90 days.
The DMV will also resume Saturday service hours. That doesn't start until July 12th, though. There will be no Saturday hours tomorrow or the following holiday weekend. Big news here in the recovery in Western North Carolina. Chimney Rock Park is now open. What a milestone. Access to the park has been limited, as you know, since September when Hurricane Helene destroyed the only entrance bridge. WRAL's Liz McLaughlin explains.
9 months of mud, rock slides, and round-the-clock road work led to this moment. A temporary bridge in place and the park gates swinging open at Chimney Rock. Governor Josh Stein used today's milestone to launch Rediscover the Unforgettable, a campaign to draw visitors and their dollars back to the mountains. Visitors gathered this afternoon at the iconic Chimney Rock landmark, reclaiming views that normally draw 400,000 visitors each year. Governor Josh Stein spoke to state leaders and first responders, rolling out a wider tourism push in the region and signing into law a $575 million Helene relief bill.
The bill also extends the state of emergency to October 1st so that we can continue to expedite recovery efforts, in particular our repair work of private roads and bridges. It includes $75 million for those private roads and bridges, in addition to money to fight wildfires, prevent landslides, repair dams, and support our schools and local governments.
Park leaders say today's reopening should pump badly needed tourism money into Chimney Rock Village, where 1/3 of Main Street businesses were wiped out by floodwaters. For now, entry is by online reservation only, and hours are limited while repairs continue. July 4th slots are already filling up.
More good news to tell you about for Western North Carolina. Interstate 40 has reopened one lane in each direction at the North Carolina Tennessee line here. This comes after flooding and rock slides closed the interstate 9 days ago. Drivers do need to be alert, though, of course, because there will be some workers still remaining in that area. But, Mike, this is really good news for the mountains. We're seeing some big changes. It has been way too long, but, man, a lot of work has gone into making these milestones happen.
Definitely has. And every time there's a big rain like that, the folks out west are really nervous because of all the heavy rainfall and flooding they had with Helene. So can understand how they feel. Now, here in our part of North Carolina, we're looking at showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Definitely a trending down of coverage, although there are a couple of hot spots. The warning up here in Granville County ended at 7 o'clock. There could be new showers developing in this region and heading up into southern Virginia. And then to our south, we see some heavy rain moving through the Sandhills still. This flood advisory is till 8:30. One of the hot spots here in Sampson County, this flood advisory is until about 9:30. That cell is slowly moving toward the north and to the west. And a new area of development is over Wayne County. You can see the outflow boundary coming out of Green and Lenore counties has prompted near Fremont and Pikeville, new shower and thunderstorm development. This is growing. There could be a new warning coming out of that. There could even be a flood advisory because it's very slow movement. I will update that on social media if anything does come down. 40% chance for storms through 10 o'clock, 30% through about 3 a.m. So our northern counties hold on to that 30% through the 3 a.m. hour. 88 after 99 out at RDU. And it was the bigger heat that went into fueling some of these big thunderstorms. There were a few severe thunderstorm warnings. No reports that I've seen so far of any damage. 74 at Southern Pines, some very heavy rainfall in Moore County throughout the afternoon. 75 in Clinton. You guys have had some heavy rain too. 88 at Rocky Mount, 84 right now in South Hill, Virginia. So all the green areas, what we call our general thunderstorm category. All this region could see a storm over the course of the day tomorrow. The severe threat is in the northern plains of the upper Midwest with the next front. That should approach here by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and we may see an uptick in severe storm coverage by that point. We'll let you know about it through the weekend. Tomorrow morning, we start off quiet with mostly sunny skies. If you didn't get any rain today or the past few days, you might have to get out and water in the morning. By lunchtime, very quiet across the region, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, 30% chance for storms. And the models are hinting that once we get into the evening hours, there may be an uptick in coverage. We'll watch to see if that continues to be the trend with the new model coming in tonight at 10 on Fox 50 and 11 on WRAL. About a 40% chance for thunderstorms heading into the evening. By 11 o'clock Saturday night, still some rain around. So early storms then should be quiet by daybreak. Lows will be in the mid-70s. And then for tomorrow, spotty late day storms. In the morning will be dry. Much of the afternoon could be dry as well with highs in the mid and maybe even an upper 90. It was very hot out there this afternoon. Our heat index values over the weekend will range from 100 to 105 below heat index criteria. 94 on Monday, 93 Tuesday, 90 on Wednesday, so not quite as hot then. And then perhaps a smidge drop in humidity for Thursday and 4th of July next Friday, although it's up to 95, so you're probably not going to notice any difference.
Mike, thank you. Appreciate the update. Hopefully the weather stays nice this weekend. Still ahead from the WRAL archive, we go back to 1998 to find out a debate about farmland versus development in Wake County still resonating today, maybe more than ever. A Wake County farmer has some concerns about a new DOT plan that could impact a farm with a long history. We're talking about Grasshopper Farms. This is right at the intersection of Pool and Grasshopper Roads. And according to an online diagram, a proposed DOT project would expand the road from 22 feet to 50 feet with the general sore that's kind of iconic there, right there in the crosshairs. The current owner, Joshua Logan, hopes that he doesn't literally lose the farm.
The illustration that's on the website shows potential impact being pretty serious, both to our farm and our neighboring properties.
Now, the DOT tells WRAL that it's very early in the designs and the location would not impact the store. And the DOT says it could be years before this concept becomes reality. But the tension between development and farmland preservation in Wake County is nothing new. To prove it, we went into the WRAL archive and found a report from 27 years ago. Great to have you with us. Hope you have a terrific weekend. Thank you for watching WRAL as we leave you with this, your Friday moment of nostalgia.
We got a land grant here in the 1750s.
Fred Burt has seen a lot of changes along the southern edge of Wake County since he was a boy. Now he says those changes are getting a little too close to his property.
Right now, there are 2 housing developments that are very close, and they're building.
Nearby subdivisions, Summer Lakes, could have been named Summer Farm Ponds. Spring Fields could have been called Tobacco Fields. But there's no evidence of those routes to earlier farms now.
If a farm goes up for an auction, farmers don't even go to the auctions anymore because you know your highest bid is probably a third of what the first developer will offer for it.
Bert could keep turning down offers and hold on to his land, letting new developments surround him.
You know, you're going to get your neighbors that are going to start complaining about, well, I don't like smelling your cows, or I don't like your tractors cranking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's what's called urban pressure. Victor Youngblood with the Wake County Farm Service Agency says urban pressure and other factors have taken their toll on North Carolina farms. In 1950, 300,000 farms filled the state's border. In 1987, only 60,000 remained. And 25 years from now in Wake County,
if all the projections stay true to form of what you read in the paper, there won't be any farming left.
I doubt there are very many taxpayers who want to come up with the kind of money they're going to have to pay in this market to keep farmland in here. And then finally, if the tobacco program goes, there will not be any farms left in Wake County.
Then farming in Wake County may only be an exhibit in a museum. Ken Tanner, WRAL TV 5 News, Wake County.